The Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for this evening, October 22nd, 2020. And I would ask Angie for a roll call, please.
Tom Brooks,
Here.
Tom Newhart,
Here.
Terry Palumbo,
Here.
John DePew,
Here.
Anne Marie Trost.
Here.
Also in attendance, we have Tom Vantine, the Village Code Enforcement Officer, and Sarah Brown, the Village Planner.
Okay. Very good. Our main order of business this evening is to conduct a public hearing regarding a couple of variances. I would ask for a motion to open the public hearing section of our meeting.
I make a motion to open the meeting for the public hearing.
I
Okay,
second.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Tom Brooks.
Aye.
Roll
Good.
call vote. Roll call. Tom Brooks,
Oh, here.
roll call. We do a roll call vote.
Oh, aye. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Tom Newhart,
Aye.
Terry,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Anne Marie.
Aye.
Carried.
Terry's aye. Terry's an aye.
Yeah, it carried.
Okay.
You can go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, carried. That's what you said. Okay.
Okay.
Angie, are we supposed to identify ourselves when we talk? So you
It
know.
would help. It would help for the transcribing of it. Yeah.
Okay. First and last name or just first name?
First name would be good,
Okay.
except for the
Very
Tom.
good.
Unless you're a Tom.
So
Yeah.
we do have some members of the public here. And if you would like to address the board concerning this particular issue, if you would state your name, right, and then go forward.
Patel?
Okay. And would you like to address the board?
Yes, so I took a look at the variances being sought by the neighbor here. And I wanted to go through some issues that I think we should at least address and solve, I guess. Specifically, I guess we'll start with the impact on the environmental side of this variance. Specifically, I mean, I wanted to talk about the modification of the impervious surfaces as requested by the variance. It's going to have a negative impact on the environment in regards to drainage. I think the proposed increase in the lot coverage will have a negative impact on the existing drainage pond located across the street across the George Carter Way. I think that has to be addressed. It has to be studied, the current capacity versus the proposed capacity after the variance, if it is accepted. Flooding, of course, has to be addressed. And if it does have to be modified, you know, that has to be shared amongst all owners, all interested parties that are using that as drainage. But as far as environmental, that's my concern there. Now, as far as the actual the whole parcel as it is concerned right now, I don't know if you guys have been there, but what I'm concerned about is the impact that this is going to have on the right now in between the two buildings. It's being used as access for cars coming in from Route 9 northbound and then cars coming in southbound on George Carter Way. That's what it was intended for from the original. So I looked at the original site plan, but now obviously it's been modified and the whole area has been blocked off for outdoor seating. So as of right now, cars go around through the bank, drive through all the way around, and then come around through the current back entrance. Now, the fact that they're going to add seating out there concerns me only because it's a safety issue, of course, and this isn't simply a passageway. This is like an artery in the plaza that has to be studied. A traffic study has to be done properly. This isn't something where we're just moving something back. We're actually adding seating outside, and that has to be addressed. I think I didn't see anything along those lines in the variance, in the application anyway. Sorry. The traffic issues, like I talked about, I think that traffic study is probably best. It has to be done properly because it's already kind of a mess, if you ask me. And if you keep giving these variances, it's just going to be worthless. The code. I mean, I don't know what else can we do. As far as the front issues, the landscaping issue, there's no landscaping plan. I don't see anything that's proposed. It says they're going to do it. There's no landscaping there right now even. So I'd like to see something like that if they're proposing that. There has to be a buffer there. And I don't like the way that they're going to keep encroaching on Route 9 like this. They're going to keep moving cars closer to Route 9. I mean, that area, that was, I think it was developed well. And what it is currently is pretty good considering, the across the street, what we have and like that. We should preserve the value of the area and, be a little bit vigilant with the interpretation of the code, I think, just to protect the aesthetic of the area. I think it's grown positively since my family's taken over ownership of property in the area. So I'd like to protect that. So that's why I'm asking for all this. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else from the public wishes to make a comment this evening?
I'm the site engineer. Should I comment at this point or wait? Joseph Berger.
Yeah, I think it would be wise to hear from Mr. Berger at this
Sure.
point. I see that there is another member, but it says on my end connecting to audio, so I don't know if they want to speak, but it may be beneficial to hear from Mr. Berger because I know at the planning board level with the site plan amendment, we have talked about the stormwater impacts and the landscaping, et cetera. So he might be able to shed some light on the questions that the public had.
Yeah, again, Joseph Berger, the engineer for the project. As you know, we're looking for these variances so we can build outdoor patio for the COVID-19, which may be something that stays with us for a long time. Even though right now you're seeing the temporary area closed off for seating, that is not what we're going to do when we build the patio. The patio is going to be right up against the Red Line Diner, and we're going to restore the two-way traffic as it is today. So the traffic will return to its original condition. It's closed off now, only in a temporary authority by the county for outdoor seating while we're waiting to get approval to build the patio. Secondly, we're removing impervious areas almost equal to the area that we're adding. And we did a stormwater study and presented it to the village engineer who concurs that the minor, very less than 1%, even less than that increase in peak. And the additional landscaping that we're adding to offset that will sure make up for the fact that we feel, as our study shows and the village engineer concurs, that there won't be any issue with stormwater. Traffic, once again, the traffic pattern is staying the same as it was originally. We can't look at what it is now because that's a temporary. All the paths will concur. So traffic comes off Route 9, can come straight through or can go through the plaza, or they can come in from the back Eastern Drive into the site and then go back out. There will be no access onto Route 9 other than into the site as there currently does. All landscaping that's there now will be relocated in the areas that were relocated will be kept on site and be placed in areas actually closer to Route 9. The concrete island that's right at the entranceway that we see will be removed and turned into a landscaping island. The area along Route 9 will have additional landscaping placed locations that are not there right now. So we're adding landscaping along the buffer between the plaza and Route 9.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other comments from the public? Okay, seeing none, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing portion of our zoning board meeting this evening. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to close the public portion of the meeting. This is
I
Anne.
second the motion.
All right. All in favor?
Tom Brooks,
Aye.
Tom Newhorn,
Aye.
John DePew,
Aye.
Anne Marie Trost,
Aye.
Terry Palumbo.
Aye.
That's carried.
Okay. Thank you very much for the comments and for your attendance. And at this point now, we're going to go back to our regular meeting. Thank you. Take care. Okay. Anybody on the board have any further questions at this time for Joe?
No.
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 What room, I just have one question. What will the room be between the patio and the roadway?
We're actually,
Two-way traffic?
we're actually constructing a sidewalk between the patio and the road, not only to act as a buffer, and we're gonna have bollards there, but to provide a pedestrian path along the road, which actually doesn't exist right now. So people coming from either parking lot can walk along the sidewalk. The patio is gonna be raised from the sidewalk, so it'll be above it, so the people won't be at eye level. They'll be several feet above them. But the main, the patio and the sidewalk, then the bollards, then the travel path.
Okay, thank you.
This is Terry. That man is still trying to connect to audio.
That's Manish Patel.
That was the son on earlier. Just the one I spoke to.
Okay.
We'll let him continue to try to connect. And if for some reason he wasn't able to be heard, we could reopen the public hearing if he had comments before the end of the meeting.
Can he hear us talking now?
Once he connects,
Most
yes.
likely, yeah.
It seems as though his audio is connecting, but
Well, it's okay if he hears. It's an open meeting anyway. It's just not a public hearing right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
But at least he could, if he's hearing us, he knows we would let him talk.
right. One thing I wanted to add, just for the board's information, since Tom had a question about the traffic circulation, as part of the site plan review with the planning board before this came before your board, we did look at the circulation and felt that it would still be a safe condition with the construction of the patio. And the patio, like Mr. Berger said, is going to be raised and they're putting in a pedestrian passage there. So we weren't concerned with any of the traffic circulation. As Mr. Berger had said, Larry Paggi has reviewed the stormwater for this and he was okay. He didn't have any comments on it or any concerns, I should say. And just so the board is clear, the addition, most of these parking spaces that are being added are actually in areas that are currently paved. I believe it's 262 square feet of pavement that's being added.
Correct.
So,
Oh, I think he's on.
oh yeah,
Mr. Patel,
He's muted.
Okay, he's on.
Okay.
we can hear you now.
we can hear you. Would you
Good.
like to, would you state your name? You wish to make a comment
About the variance?
about the two variances being requested? Yes.
You need to reopen the public
Wait, you have
hearing.
to
Open the
We
public.
will if
hearing.
you,
All right, hold on.
if
just
he
a
wants to speak, we will.
minute. Okay, do you want to speak?
Yeah, I would like to.
Okay,
Okay, then we're going to have to reopen the public hearing.
could I have a motion, please, to reopen the public hearing?
I make a motion to reopen the public hearing.
Do I have a second?
I have a
I'll the
second.
motion.
Okay,
John, second.
John, second. All in favor?
Roll call.
Tom Brooks,
Aye.
Tom Newhorn,
Aye.
John DePew,
Aye.
Ann Trost,
Aye.
and Terry Palumbo.
Aye.
Okay, that's carried.
Thank you. Mr. Patel,
Yes, sir.
you can comment as you wish.
Okay, my only concern is that the variance is asking a 50% reduction in the setback from the street line. That's on the Route 9 side. And off-street parking. And second variance is from maximum allowable lot coverage. That's where I have a problem. That property has been previously been approved with a lot of variances, and they've been given enough to adjust their use. If we keep on doing this thing now if you analyze the site, there is nothing left all along other than paved surfaces. So I don't think we should allow any more increase any more lot coverage area. Otherwise there's no meaning of zoning ordinance. It has to be within the range, some greenery. Like if you look at the greenery on the George Carter Way, there is nothing left. 5 feet, no, not even 5 feet. And if the dumpster behind my hotel is so close to the curb. And if you drive by, it's not a good eyesight. It has to be done properly, fence around, with some shrubbery, some greenery, and nothing there. So if we give them variance to add some more impervious surface, it has an environmental impact as well on the pond and overall development of the whole property. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your comments.
Mhm.
Anyone else out there from the public who wishes to make a comment in this second session? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to conclude this public hearing, part 2.
I so make a motion to conclude the public hearing, part 2.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion to close.
All in favor?
Tom Brooks,
Aye.
Tom Newhart,
Aye.
John DePew,
Aye.
Anne Marie Trost,
Aye.
Terry Palumbo.
Aye.
That's carried.
Okay. Thank you again to the public who were here. And at this particular point, are there any other comments from board members in light of the most recent comments that they would like to make or any questions they would have of Mr. Berger?
I think I'm all set. Sarah, there's nothing else we should be concerned about, or we're good to go?
No, as I had stated before, and I don't know if Mr. Patel was on at that point, the area that's actually being considered for the 11 new parking spaces was previously paved. There is an addition of about 200 square feet. That's what the lot coverage increase is. Mr. Berger is correct that they did take out some existing impervious surface to try to make it as even as possible, so that there wasn't an increase in lot coverage, and this is what they ended up with. They're just shifting the drive aisles and restriping the parking lot, and that's how they're making up these 11 spaces. So that being said, we did, Larry Podgy's office had reviewed this from a drainage aspect and didn't have any issues. And we had also looked at the traffic circulation. So from our end, and this will, I should also mention, This is only for the variances tonight. This application will go back before the planning board next month for their November meeting for their public hearing.
Oh, okay.
Sarah, what
And-
percent increase is the coverage?
Uh,
As I recall, it was a very small percent.
It was at 87.7% and it's going to 88.1%, which is 262 square feet,
Mhm.
is really about the size of one parking space.
Yes.
Yeah, 10 by 20 spaces, 200. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, are we ready to take action on this evening so that we can send it back then to the planning board, or I believe I am.
Terry, I am too.
John Depew, I am.
Okay. If there's no problems with that, I would like to, Sarah, would you like to read some of this?
Sure.
Or would you rather have me read it?
No, that's okay. I can go over it.
You can go over it?
I wrote it, so I might as
You-
well.
And it was very, very well written, but you would be better with all the numbers and parentheses and everything than I.
Yeah, I won't make you do it. And I'll summarize it. The board was sent a copy of this ahead of the meeting for you to review. So whereas the applicant has applied to the village for variances in connection with the approval or the amended site plan approval to construct 11 new parking spaces on the parcel identified as 584 Route 9 in the village of Fishkill. And whereas the proposed action also involves an amended site plan application to construct a permanent patio on the existing restaurant for outdoor dining and the construction of 6 new parking spaces on that parcel. Whereas the proposed action includes the following variances: a variance from section 17136B2 of the zoning law to allow more than 50% of the area required for the setback from a street line to be used for driveways and off-street parking. And whereas a variance from section 17153 of the zoning law to allow an increase in the maximum allowable lot coverage. Whereas a variance was granted as part of the original site plan application to allow 74.8% of the setback to be used as driveways, and the current application proposes 77.2% of the area to be used. Whereas the original site plan, as a part of the original site plan approval, there were 2 different lot coverage calculations for the site. An overall lot coverage, which was 87.7%, and an overall lot coverage minus the porous pavement, which resulted in a lot coverage of 65.58%. Whereas at the time of the original site plan approval, the definition of lot coverage only considered impervious surface as part of lot coverage, and the 65.58% lot coverage fell below the allowable maximum of 75%. Whereas since the original approval, the zoning law has been amended to specifically include areas of porous pavement towards the lot coverage calculation. Whereas the lot coverage would be increased from 87.7% to 88.1%, an increase of 262 square feet of impervious surface. Whereas the proposed action is an unlisted action with regard to seeker. And whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals and the Planning Board, as the only involved agencies, determined that an uncoordinated seeker review would be performed, and all involved agencies would do an independent seeker review. Whereas on October 22nd, a public hearing was held, and whereas the ZBA has reviewed and given due consideration to the application materials and all other information submitted by the applicant. Now therefore it be resolved that pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, the Zoning Board of Appeals hereby adopts a negative declaration on the grounds that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts. Be it further resolved that the Zoning Board of Appeals makes the following findings pursuant to New York State Village Law and Village Zoning Law: that the variances will not produce an undesirable change in the community. The addition of 11 parking spaces to the existing parking lot would be mostly achieved by restriping the existing parking lot and the addition of 262 square feet of additional impervious surface. The benefit sought by the applicant cannot be achieved by some other method feasible for applicant to pursue other than an area variance. The impact is not substantial. The requested variance will not have an adverse effect on the neighborhood or the district. The parcel is located within the planned industry zoning district and is surrounded by other commercial uses, some of which have existing variances allowing encroachments into the front yard setback. The hardship is not self-created in that the applicant is looking to construct outdoor seating as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and the increase of parking on the site will replace parking area that was used for the construction of outdoor dining. Be it further resolved that the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of Fishkill hereby grants the requested variances.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Can I call for a vote on this particular resolution?
Need a motion.
Okay, motion. All right. Have a motion to vote on the resolution to grant the requested area variances as outlined by Sarah Brown.
Are we doing one at a time or just both together?
Oh, you can do them both at the same time.
Okay,
Both variances at the same time?
Yeah, and what your motion will actually do is to adopt the resolution, which outlines the two variances, and that with regard to seeker, you're adopting a negative declaration because no impacts have been identified.
well, I'll make a motion that we grant the variance as read by Sarah.
I second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Tom Brooks,
Aye.
Tom Newhart,
Aye.
John DePew,
Aye.
Ann Trost,
Aye.
Terry Palumbo.
Aye.
That's carried.
Okay, thank you. And Angie, I'll stop by sometime
If you could,
tomorrow and
to sign it.
sign it, and get it all set, okay?
That's fine, thank you.
By sometime in the morning.
Okay,
Very good.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Anything else for the good of the order?
we need to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Okay. I forgot to do that, no?
It's okay.
Didn't have my cheat sheet with me here tonight. But can I have a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting, our meeting in September?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from last month's meeting.
I'll second. Tom
Oh.
Newhart.
Okay, all in favor?
Tom Brooks,
Aye.
Tom Newhart,
Aye.
John DePew,
Aye.
Ann Trost,
Aye.
Terry Palumbo.
Aye.
Carried.
Okay. Do I have a motion to close the meeting of October 22nd, 2020?
I so make the motion that we close the meeting of October 22nd.
I'll
Thank you.
second the motion to close.
All in favor?
Tom Brooks,
Aye.
Tom Newhart,
Aye.
John DePew,
Aye.
Ann,
Aye.
Terry.
Aye.
That is carried.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
All right, everybody.